watching the IUP TV News Bulletin, bringing you stories relevant to IUP and the Indiana community on Channel 6 and 20.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining our news broadcast from Davis Hall. My name is Chloe Pilston.
And I'm John Hurrow, bringing you stories relevant to IUP and the Indiana community. We will broadcast this program every Thursday for the rest of the semester. We will start with stories close to us.
A pair of IUP student videos are among the finalists from the Press Club of Western Pennsylvania's Golden Quill Awards, given for excellence in regional media presentation. Our former executive producer, Stoker Wyzorek, is vying for student excellence in video and broadcast journalism. With two of his past IUP TV news productions, John Fetterman Comes to Indiana and Ukraine Students at IUP. The other presentation is Center Country Reports from Penn State. Since his graduation in fall of 2022, Stoker has been employed as a reporter at WJAC 6 in Johnstown.
Thieves may not have been counting on finding a mountain of change when they broke into a truck filled with $750,000 in dimes, but they still made off with a chunk of the cargo and left coins scattered around a Philadelphia parking lot. The thieves apparently fled with at least $100,000. It's not yet known how they carted off the mounds of dimes. The tractor-trailer driver had picked up the dimes from the Philadelphia Mint on Wednesday and was planning to transport them to Florida. It's not clear how many people have been involved in the theft or if they knew what the truck contained. Responding police officers found hundreds of dimes scattered all over the parking lot, and authorities were still trying to determine how much money was stolen. No arrests have been made.
Election officials in central Pennsylvania are quickly fixing an error that was printed on 18,000 mail-in ballots for this upcoming spring primaries. This election will dictate the future Pennsylvania State Supreme Court and other positions. The incorrect ballots only stated that Democrats and Republicans could only choose one option when nominating on the judicial candidate from their party. Although according to Lancaster County's elections, voters should have the option to put down two nominees. Voters will receive replacement ballots with the correct instructions soon. Those who have received their errored ballots were instructed to throw them away and wait for the correct ballots to arrive. The county states that the voters who have already filled out their ballot and sent it in, they will be set aside by the Elections Board. Remember, the deadline to return your mail-in ballots is May 16th.
A new museum called Beyond the Battle in Gettysburg held its grand opening on Friday. The brand new museum doesn't just take you through time, but instead it will put you right in it. According to the Director of Marketing and Development for ACHS, Michaela Schaefer, constructing this museum and facility has been a big goal of the Historical Society, and the idea for this project was years in the making. Beyond the Battle will begin in the prehistoric times of Gettysburg, which starts by showing you some of the natural rock formations that would later become historical battle sites, and then you will be taken through a brand new perspective of the Battle of Gettysburg, before walking you through the events that follow after the war. According to Schaefer, Beyond the Battle will have 12 immersive galleries for you to journey through. In addition to the new immersive museum, the 25,000 square foot building will also become the new home for the Adams County Historical Society, the Adams County Archive Facility, a research room for the archives, and a community center.
State Governor Josh Shapiro has recently announced new measures being placed on the growing xylazine problem in Pennsylvania. Xylazine, also known as Tranq, is leading to the growing number of overdoses that are happening across the state. This is a normal drug found in animal tranquilizers and has no use to humans, although more and more people are using this hard drug and dying from it. Shapiro says over the past few years, there has been a 600% increase in Tranq-related deaths, and that number is only rising. Shapiro is pushing for the drug to be categorized as a level 3 narcotic to increase safeguards by manufacturers and increase the prosecution for possession or individuals selling it.
Still ahead on IUP News, we'll have a story about a blood drive and what kind of work they do for the community.
Along with a look into WIUP-FM's Vinyl-thon.
We all have a story. It's telling those stories that matter. That's why IUP's communications program airs its own news bulletin on IUP TV and 90.1 WIUP FM with the people you know telling the stories. Here, there are new aspiring journalists ready to start their career strong. Even if news isn't your goal, there is a place here for everyone. This is IUP News, with stories relevant to IUP and the Indiana community.
An 84-year-old man surrendered to law enforcement after the shooting of Kansas City teen Ralph Yarl. Andrew Lester surrendered to the Clay County Detention Center Tuesday afternoon. Lester has been charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action against the 16-year-old. The incident occurred on April 13th when Yarrow was picking up his siblings, but ended up at the wrong home. After the teen rang the doorbell, Lester shot twice through his glass door, hitting Yarrow once above his left eye and the second in his right arm. The prosecutor of Clay County stated that there was a racial component to this crime. Yarrow was able to go home Monday morning and is being taken care of by medical experts in his family.
The U.S. state of Montana approved a bill that seeks to ban the use of the social media app TikTok on the mobile devices of all Montana residents. Montana could become the first state to completely ban TikTok if Montana Governor Greg Gianforte signs the bill into law and it goes into effect. A spokesman for the governor said on Friday that he will carefully consider the proposal, but gave no indication as to whether Gianforte will proclaim it into state law. Montana's ban is the toughest yet passed by a state assembly and surpasses the ban implemented by the federal government and half of the 50 U.S. states, including Montana, which stipulates that public officials may not have TikTok on their cell phones.
The war between Ukraine and Russia is coming up on the 15-month mark. It is apparent that both countries are suffering from a shortage of weaponry. That recently leaked Pentagon documents shows that Ukraine is running extremely low on their air defenses that have been used to stop Russian missiles and rockets. With these defense mechanisms becoming scarce, Ukraine must find another way to defend itself against the Russian troops. Soon enough, Ukraine will be receiving an advanced U.S. Patriot air defense system to defend themselves from the airstrikes. On the other side of this battle, Russian troops are becoming decimated because of all the soldiers being thrown into the front line, but not many others wanting to join this war. While Ukraine is struggling with its defenses, Russia's offense is dwindling. In recent news, they have pulled out tanks that were used in the Cold War era to try and continue this battle against Ukraine.
Beatrice Flamini emerged from a cave in southern Spain. The climber and mountaineer had entered the cave in Granada on November 21, 2021, determined to spend 500 days alone to explore the effects of isolation on the human body and mind. Flamini was 48 years old when she went down and 50 when she officially completed the challenge on Friday. Flamini said she'd lost track of time after about 2 months in the cave. She described the experience as excellent and unbeatable. Flamini's team says she spent her days reading, drawing, exercising, knitting woolly hats, and recording herself with 2 GoPros. A Spanish production company plans to turn her experience into a documentary. The annual IUP Sidewalk Commentary Contest, also known as Chalk the Walk, will be held Wednesday, April 26th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the IUP Oak Grove. In case of inclement weather, the event will be held Friday, April 28th. The contest, sponsored by the IUP College of Arts and Humanities, Lively Arts, the IUP chapter of the National Art Education Association, and the Division of Marketing and Communications, offers students or student groups the opportunity to express their political and social views through chalk drawings across the Oak Grove. Students or student groups should register at the registration table in the Oak Grove starting at 9 a.m. There is no cost to register and chalk is provided free of charge. For as long as supplies last, students will receive a free t-shirt sponsored by the Division of Marketing and Communications. This is the 31st annual Chalk the Walk, which has consistently drawn close to 100 entries each year on topics ranging from the environment to politics. Campus judges will review the entries starting at 4 p.m. Monetary prizes of $100, $75, and $50 will be given to the top 3 winning entries.
Join the Indiana community this Saturday for the 10th annual Donut Dash 5K. People of all ages are encouraged to come out to enjoy donuts with your community, and then you can choose if you would either like to run or walk off the donuts you eat. This event is held to benefit the teens in the Indiana community that are attending the Young Life Camp this upcoming summer. The race will begin at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning behind Miller Stadium located on IUP's campus. Be sure to show up early to stretch and get a donut in before the 5K begins. After the break, we will have our weekly weather report.
Looking for some new entertainment? Check out IUP TV today. This station features student-created content such as The Big Hit for sports coverage, Animation Nation for all things anime and tunes, Indie Rockers Ball for local music acts, Press Start for your game fix, and Witticism for a laugh. Tune in on Campus TV or on our respective YouTube channels today. There's something for everyone, made by the people that you know.
And now for your weekly weather report. Today is partly cloudy with a high reaching up to 82 and a low of 55. Tomorrow there is a possibility of some rain, and we will see temperatures stay about the same with a high of 81 and a low of 57. Your Earth Day may be spent inside this year, with weather on Saturday being rainy with a high temperature of 67 and a low of 40. Moving into early next week, we will see cloudy days with scattered rain showers. Temperatures ranging from 50s during the day to mid-30s in the evening. Hopefully soon we will start to see the bright side to all these April showers.
Let me tell you something. Whatever it took you to get here will take you anywhere you want to go. You may not have it figured out right now, and that's okay. There are people here who do, and they believe in you. But you gotta put in the work. And if you go all in, if you commit to something bigger, IUP will take you further than you ever imagined. Because it's not about who you are when you arrive. It's about who you become. IUP. Grow here.
After our sports segment, we will hear a story on how the live music scene is changing in the years following the pandemic.
And Autism Awareness Month and what it means to people and what they want people to take away from it.
Along with the upcoming Vinyl-thon held by the IUP Radio 90.1 WIUP FM. But now we will go to Nathan Osler for our sports update. Nathan, tell us what's going on in the world of sports.
Thanks, guys. In sports news, the Pittsburgh Steelers acquired wide receiver Allen Robinson from the Los Angeles Rams in a trade. The Steelers also received a 7th-round pick along with Robinson. The Steelers in return will be sending the Rams a 7th-round pick. Along with the deal, the Steelers will have to pay Robinson $5 million of his salary, while the Rams will have to pay $10.25 million. In only their second season as an NHL franchise, the Seattle Kraken made history by getting their first ever playoff win. The second-year expansion team defeated the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche last night 3-1. They now have a 1-0 lead in the series. Warriors forward Draymond Green has been suspended 1 game without pay after what appeared to be him stomping on Kings forward Domantas Sabonis in Monday night's loss to the Sacramento Kings. The Warriors are now down 2-0 in the series. That's going to do it for sports. I'm Nathan Osler. Now back to you guys.
Let's talk about mental health. Not many people realize that your mental health is just as important as your physical. As college students, many different factors can contribute to poor mental health, such as the pressure to succeed, financial instability, social media, and poor health habits. So how do you maintain good mental health? Exercising multiple times a week, eating better on a daily basis, drinking less, and setting achievable goals for yourself are great ways to stay on top.
A blood donation occurs when a person voluntarily has blood drawn and is used for a transfusion and/or made into pharmaceutical medications. A blood drive is an initiative to help gather volunteers to donate blood and help thousands of Americans who rely on it. Reporter Excassier Mumba has the story.
There's so much work that can be done to help people, and one of the ways is by giving blood. Giving blood can be hard and difficult for some people. However, there are some people who aren't afraid to help out in any way possible. The Red Cross Blood Drive, an event designed to help those in need of blood, is once again at Indiana's County. The Red Cross Blood Drive is designed to help make a difference to those in need and are suffering from issues such as surgery, cancer treatment, chronic illness, and traumatic injuries. With the last blood drive happening at the end of March and the upcoming one happening April 24th and April 28th at the Trinity United Methodist Church and IUP Crimson event, respectively, there's many different levels of emotion in the Indiana community. Musical theater's Isabella Gundersky details her fears of needle and how that will impede her from donating blood at the upcoming blood drive.
I have not given blood. I am scared of needles, so I haven't had the chance. I have had the chance to do it, but I've just chosen not to. Just because it's a big needle and scary and painful.
With more and more people attending the blood drive last time at the Trinity United Methodist Church and increasing the amount of blood donation needed, the Red Cross Blood Drives hope that more and more people can come in and donate more blood soon. Theater Department's very own Jasper Walter details their experience with signing up for the blood drive and the process.
My experience donating blood was pretty good. I just go through like an online portal, sign up, and then go in. And they just ask you a few questions about like your medication history and everything. And then you just kind of go in and they stick you with a needle and take your blood. And it's all good. It's like
This has been Exosi Pemba reporting with IUP News.
Music is a universally loved medium all around the world. Do you love listening to vinyl? Be sure to tune in to WIUP-FM as they participate in their first ever Vinylthon this Saturday, April 22nd. Our reporter Thomas Rainey has a story talking about the upcoming event.
This is a vinyl record. Most consider it a fossil, a product of a bygone era. However, on Saturday, April 22nd, WIUP-FM and several other college radio stations are bringing back the big black discs for one more day on the airwaves.
So Vinylthon is an event put on every year by the College Radio Foundation, which is a national group that really has some international ties, but they're the same folks that put on College Radio Day every fall. And this past fall of 2022, we participated in College Radio Day for the first time, and we pulled all of our established programming and did a full 24 hours of live student broadcasting, and that was a blast, a bit of delirious blast, but a blast nonetheless. And shortly after that, a few of our student managers and I went to Baltimore for the College Broadcasters Incorporated Conference, and Vinylthon was a subject of discussion there. And we got kind of excited about it, and when we got back from that conference and then after the winter break, said, okay, let's do something for Vinylthon.
DJs across all participating campuses are excited for the event to take place. IUP's own DJs gave their thoughts.
Yeah, so I would for sure say I'm excited for Vinylthon. I think it's a great event for not only like the DJs to have a different cool experience, but also for the growth of the station, you know, like we did an event a few months ago, first semester, it was called College Radio Day. It was similar in terms of 24-hour broadcast, but you know, you could just play from anywhere. But the Vinylthon I think is a great opportunity for students to learn some things about vinyl and express themselves through what music they play, and also contribute to what could be an award and possible maybe even money for the station. So I think it'll do nothing but benefit students and the station itself.
The station will be explicitly playing vinyl for 24 hours straight. Dr. Stigler gives more insight into the decision.
I had the idea that maybe we could do 24 hours of straight vinyl, and the student managers said, that seems like it's a bit of a pain, maybe we should. So okay, so let it rest. Then we found out that if you do 24 hours of straight vinyl programming, you get the coveted Golden Slipmat Award. So there was immediate buy-in at that point. Students got pretty excited about it, and so on Saturday, April 22nd, which also coincides with Record Store Day, we'll be playing all vinyl from 12 a.m. until 11:59 p.m. All students, all day, and all the hisses, pops, cracks, and skips that you can muster on WIUP-FM.
This is Thomas Rainey reporting for IUP TV News, signing off.
Have you been one of the thousands of people eagerly waiting for an artist to finally announce their tour? Scrambling to find tickets to a sold-out show, or finding your concert has been rescheduled for a different date and time? Concerts and live music have changed dramatically in the past years. Much of this can be attributed to the COVID-19 pandemic. Reporter and executive producer Ryan Carter has a story on how the pandemic, that is in some of our minds a thing of the past, is still creating issues and worries for fans today. Here's the story.
Since March of 2020, many events and activities have been affected in some shape or form. The live music and concert scene is no different.
Well, I love my music shows. I've been going to concerts my whole life since I was a teenager. I'm in my 60s now, and it's what keeps me going. And it's just been sad, really. Yeah. We've had so many concerts. You and I bought you tickets for your high school graduation, which was 2 years, 7 months ago. Tonight we're here at the Ava Brothers because it's been canceled and postponed and blah, 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 so finally we're here.
Before the pandemic, crowds would pack stadiums, arenas, lawns, and venues to experience a show of unforgettable music. Many things are different now, and the times are missed by some.
So before the pandemic, it was kind of just like, I miss sort of like the relaxed atmosphere of it. It was like, you know, everyone was there to have a good time. There was no worry about being too close to other people or having to wear masks or anything like that. So And like the ticket experiences, I feel like were like cheaper because it was, you know, less restrictions and artists were going on more tours.
Well, now most places you have to show your vaccination card, and then if you're not vaccinated, you have to show a negative test within 24 hours. As far as like in the concert, for me, there hasn't been a huge difference.
After the pandemic, people have seen slight changes in prices, experiences, crowd numbers, and more. The cost of tickets, according to Pollstar, has risen a drastic 19% since 2019. They now stand at an average of $108.20.
I've noticed things have changed within the concert scene a lot because the capacity of people has really changed since the pandemic, as well as kind of like the energy shift between people. I feel like people definitely enjoyed concerts more before the pandemic than they do now, so.
I'd say what I miss most is just like the general sense of community I felt like going to concerts. You know, I would see not necessarily the same people, but like a lot of people who have similar interests as me, and that was really cool to see, you know, like hang out with them before concerts and tailgate and walk around the city and do all fun stuff like that.
Fans who are deeply connected and committed to the sport of live music have been doing as much as they can to curtail the effects of the pandemic on the musicians and the music industry.
But all I can tell people is support your local music scene. Just get out and see the local bands and help them keep going, because and all these awesome little clubs that are all over Pittsburgh, you gotta go to keep them in business.
Yeah, that's good.
The future of live music may seem bleak for some, but others are hopeful make a return even stronger than before the pandemic.
To be honest, I feel like it's kind of declining, which is like sad to say because I'm a music lover and I do like to go to concerts, but I feel like it's more dangerous now to go to concerts within like crowds of people, just because of what's going on in the world and stuff like that. It's definitely more to think about when you go to a concert. But I mean, I hope it'll take a turn, but for right now, I feel like it's definitely kind of declining, and the groups of people are going down, and just the overall energy of it all, the whole music scene, so.
Well, I think outside venues have always been like in the equation, but I think now more than ever, people are looking to play outside just to eliminate that like factor of close contact within like a venue, or like PPG Paints in Pittsburgh, for example. I think more people are going to try to go to like Star Lake, where that's outside, you have a lawn, and I think it also makes other people more comfortable seeing people outside rather than inside, especially in the summer. Yeah. So sunny and nice.
With summer approaching, concerts will be in full effect all around the area. While it may not be the same as 3 years ago, they all seem to be a time to have fun and to support your favorite musicians and bands. This is Ryan Carter, in and around Indiana area with IUP News.
National Autism Awareness Month is observed during the month of April. It aims to focus on coming together in unity and collaboration to fostering a community of support by sharing stories and connecting with one another to create a more inclusive environment for all. Our reporter Levi Donaldson has a story on this important cause.
April is Autism Awareness Month, which means it's a good time to learn about neurotypical people and their experiences. I spoke with 2 IUP students who have autism and a special needs high school teacher. This is Julie, a student here at IUP.
So I found out about autism after just finding so much information about it online and talking to different people that I know that have autism, and having so many autistic people say to me that they think that I might be autistic. So then just based on that and like doing very, very thorough research and just finding a lot of things were finally adding up, and just everything making sense that way. But it was really great to find out, because it has made my life a bit easier now that I know what causes a lot of my struggles and why I do react to things differently than other people. So yeah, it's definitely helped being aware of it. Everyday routine stuff can be difficult. It's also hard because I have ADHD as well, and the two overlap a lot.
This is Katie Dreger, a high school teacher.
Yes, so I received a degree from Clarion, and it goes all the way from newborn to age 21 in special education. I am currently a high school special education teacher. I teach 9th through 11th grade life skills support. Stimming is, it can look like flapping of the hands. It can look like rocking. It's usually to get some sort of sensory input or motion to the body. I think you should understand that people with autism are just like us. They just interpret the world in a different way and they process it differently. So just because someone is nonverbal does not mean that they do not understand or that they're not smart. Or if they have stimming behavior, it does not mean that, you know, their intelligence is any less than ours. It just means that they're processing it differently.
This is Hannah, an IEP student.
I don't like eugenics, so I don't like Autism Speaks, because a lot of the things that they've supported have been ideologies like finding a cure for autism or finding ways to erase autism from being in the gene pool. It's also been perpetuated that it's a only boys disorder, and the whole puzzle piece thing is a part of your brain is missing. That's definitely perpetuated harm. It's more than just what meets the eye, and if more people took the time to read about various neurotypes, like more than just autism, because there are so many different neurotypes. Neurodivergence is like the umbrella term for all, and they all kind of have comorbid like aspects in a sense, but I feel like there's a lot of apathy for a large percentage of the mass population, and that's just illogical.
Try to do some research on autism if you can, and remember that not everyone experiences the world in the same way, so try to be patient and understanding. Have a great rest of your month. I'm Levi Donaldson for IUP News.
And that's going to be it for us this week at IUP News in association with students looking for careers in the communications media field. I'm John Hurl.
And I'm Chloe Pilston. We're your hosts for today. Be sure to follow our Instagram page at IUP_news and our YouTube channel at IUP News 4207. Please take care and have a safe weekend.